Team, this is Origins 2019. Here we can see the line getting ready to go into the hall. We're going to enter in early access here in just a second. Okay, you ready? Ready? Are you ready?
What?
To go in. Yeah. Hey team, we're about ready to enter the Origins 2019. We've got the early press access and we're about ready to go in, so let's get in there, check it out. Alright team, we are in early access. Here we go. We've got approximately about 30 minutes, I think, before the hall opens up to the general public. So let's go ahead and check out what we can find. Here's the main hall here. It's pretty cool. There's at Origins, there's 3 kind of main areas where you can go into their halls. They've got a central area which has got primarily all the vendors and all the booths. There are some vendors that are in, the halls that are on either side of the central one here. And then on either side of this, you've got just large open gaming areas where you can sit down, you can play games, you can do demos. It's pretty awesome. The Crystal Cast. We will be back there later for our free dice.
Two of them in. I put another one. What the hell?
I think you want
Here we go, TMG Lance.
Raised thing, black on black. You think you're not going to see it all. Really nice.
This place here had some really interesting stuff. Lots of different awesome selection of dice trays. All kinds of cool stuff, and really nice booth setup as well. Very fancy. And here we go, Breaking Games, The Dwellings of Eldervale. You can check that out on the channel. We'll get a couple videos. Pretty awesome game. It's on Kickstarter right now. This is their booth as they're getting started up, and they actually had some really, really cool things. And speaking of cool things, here we go, Altar Quest. This was a really, really cool game as well. I got to see while we were at the con. This just finished up a very successful Kickstarter. Very awesome game. Excellent solo play on this title, and very cool. You can see here just how neat this game is. And we do have a little recording here in a little bit on just how that game is played.
And if
a lot of
effects.
modularity.
In this
There's all
room,
the decks
for example, you could go to this desk and try to find an altar stone. That's one of the effects in this room.
Yeah, production's really
So
nice.
attached to that feature, so you always know,
No
oh,
problem.
the alchemy desk is right there. That's where that quest room is. Then we draw a threat, and it is a yellow Frox Raider. He comes into your threat area. Then you find the yellow Frox Raider. He goes in the shadow space. The quest card might tell you he spawns other places, but that's the default spot. All right, and that room is open now, so now you know what's in the room. You can finish your movement there. Now, you could do an action to move up there if you want to attack him, but actions are precious, so you want to find ways to do things without using actions. If you look at your character card here, he has an ability called Bury Scurry. He can use a wind rune to just move up to 2 spaces. So there's wind in the pool, so let's say you do that. You're adding in some earth, and then that is exhausted because it's only once per turn. So boom, boom. So now you're in position. So let's just stab this guy. So do you have any attack cards in your hand?
Let's see. Deal 1 damage to each enemy within range if we have wind symbol.
Here's a good example here of one of the open halls where they got a lot of the card games going on, a lot of demos that they're doing across this hall. And there's one that is this size on the other side of the main convention center hall as well. This is a pretty cool little game called City of Gears. It's kind of an interesting title here. Thought it was looked quite a bit of fun. Didn't get to do a demo of it, but was really interested in it.
We're going to that draw gear section. Here I can draw gears. I can draw gears once per turn. So no matter how many gears I have to use them all at one time, or I can just store them for later. I can only store.
Here we got Whiz Kids. Now, these guys have got a ton of stuff coming out, just killing it right now with miniatures, board games, and we should have quite a few of their titles coming up and different types of things on the channel here very, very soon.
Is there pig dice? No way. 100%.
Yeah, you're good.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. Our friends with Brotherwise Games. They produce the Boss Monster card game, very highly successful, and they've got some new titles out, Unearth, as well as the Call to Adventure game, both of which are having some expansions coming up here soon. Hold up. Is that Waldo? Well, I guess we found him.
It's game trace for you. They're thinking about everything. Like, how is this going to go?
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with it.
You notice that the house is like blocking the place?
Have you got an update on it?
I'm Dee with Playco Games, and this is Hexapod, a game of abstract expressionism that we are currently finishing development on to bring to market, probably to Kickstarter. Basically, you start with randomly drawing 3 tiles. You have 3 tiles in your hands at all times, and you are trying to match all adjacent sides. You take turns playing. It's up to a 4-player game. If you are the lucky person to lay down the last tile to surround a hexapod, you get to claim that hexapod. And later on, you'll be scoring based on the colors you have claimed. There are also wild tiles that can be placed anywhere. You can also claim those, but you don't score on wild tiles. All of your opponents will score 1 point for every wild that ends up in your collection. So they're easy to place, not so great to claim. And you play in 3 rounds. You play either till one player places all 6 of their pawns, or you run out of tiles. And you score in 3 rounds. 1 round you choose to score on 1 of the colors. Another round you choose to score on 2 of the colors. And another round you score on all 3 colors added up. Once you've used 1, you can't use it the next round, even if it's a better score. You get 1 point for every tile you've placed. And then the opponent wild bonus is anything you've scored on a wild tile that someone else claimed. And that's pretty much the basic gist of it.
is. I like the drawing game. We make some fun guessing games at CG.
We will write down that little book. And if we're on the third spot, we're going to write down 3.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about a lot of the new stuff that Whiz Kids has got coming to the market. Here is just a small snapshot of some of their new painted sets. They're 4D sets. They are super cool. Full setup, towns and caverns, and they've got a new goblin set coming out I'm really looking forward to, and a ton of just, single sculpts, like larger sculpts we'll find here in just a second. You'll be able to see, and then some of their more traditional sculpts that they have here, just their single package sculpts. There's the awesome ship. That thing is amazing. So cool. And this is actually the first time that I had seen it in person, was here at the show, and it was just absolutely amazing.
Interested in that a little bit.
Okay.
Because it sounds like it's something you play campaigning.
All right, team, that wraps up Origins 2019. It was another great con, great show, tons of games I got to play, as well as with some good new friends. Had just a great time, saw a lot of cool stuff, and I will leave you with the night.